Over this past week, many people have been remarking that this is 1 year since we went into lockdown because of the COVID-19 pandemic. 52 Shabbatot done this way on Zoom. And we still don't have a clear end in sight. But there was a massive relief bill that was passed by Congress this week. So many more people are being vaccinated. And the president has said that vaccinations will be available for everyone by this summer. We see some light emerging at the end of this long, dark tunnel. So as we enter into this Shabbat, I know there's much still to be done in the world, but I'm feeling grateful and hopeful. As we complete the book of Exodus, God reiterates for us the commandment to observe Shabbat, and then the building of the tabernacle commences. And the rabbis say, why is the commandment for Shabbat juxtaposed with the building of the tabernacle? And they said, because work is not just something that we find onerous, but work is actually connected to the building of the tabernacle. They created what they're called the 39 labors. The 39 things that we aren't supposed to do on Shabbat are related to what we needed to do to build the tabernacle. Building and sewing and writing and constructing. The tabernacle, which is a holy place, our wilderness sanctuary, can't even be built on Shabbat, even though it is holy, that we need to separate even from that work. On Shabbat, we make separations and distinctions. We set aside work, we set aside things in order to create a day of holiness. We light candles, we say Kiddush. We take this time to create order out of chaos. The rabbis teach us that the Israelites' building of the tabernacle parallels God's creation of the world. That when God created the world, first there was tohu vavohu, there was chaos, and God created the world by separating light from dark, plants from animals. This past year, many of us have felt that tohu vavohu, that chaos, the blurring of boundaries, that everything was all mushed in together, that our private and work life didn't have any separation, that many of our rooms became used for multiple things. I sit here in my basement, which is my sanctuary. It's my TV room, and if I were to move my computer over, you'd see all my workout equipment over here. I used to have 3 different spaces for that, but now it's all one. And the dining room table is also my office during the week. And as a matter of fact, now that I have my new cat, Bowie, he likes to visit me and sit on the table with me while I'm working there. But the problem is that on Friday nights, it's not my office anymore. It becomes the Shabbat table, and I've had to train him that he's not allowed to sit on the table on Shabbat, that we need to make distinctions. But yet this time of COVID has been about tohu vavohu, the chaos and the blurring of boundaries. It comes to even the clothes we wear. What happened to our staying home clothes and our going out clothes? It's all the same now. I have 1 pair of shoes that I wear. They're not even shoes, they're slippers. When I go outside, I have my boots. There doesn't seem to be any separation. And yet there's an importance of creating separation for our mental health, to say this time is dedicated to work and this time is dedicated to family, that this spot is dedicated for this particular purpose, that these clothes I wear for this event and I wear something else now. And yet it's so difficult when we spend so much time in our house. But we don't want our life to become all about work. We need to have that separation. I'm looking forward to separating from COVID in the post-COVID time. But in the meantime, these chapters in which we build the Mishkan, we build the tabernacle, and we pause on Shabbat reminds us to create distinctions and boundaries, that even the holy building of the Mishkan cannot be done on Shabbat. We need to make a separation and a distinction. And we do it not just for our physical health, but for our mental health as well. To clear off the dining room table, to create that place for Shabbat, to make our table a mikdash ma'at, a little sanctuary, to set aside our email, to set aside the things that plague us during the week. Even prayers of petition that we say during the week are omitted on Shabbat. We only have prayers of gratitude and of joy. On Shabbat, we thank God for all that we have, and we're joyful for that. And we don't try to change the world for this one day. We let go. Jewish tradition teaches us that there are things that we need to do to make Shabbat special and things we need to refrain from doing. We say Shamor v'Zachor, we're supposed to uphold and to remember. And we say the word remember, we remember to do things like light candles and say blessings to make Shabbat special. And Shamor, we guard Shabbat by refraining from doing things, making separations and distinctions. May Shabbat, which teaches that lesson so profoundly, permeate our week so that we may create distinctions between time of play, time of work, time for family, time for working out, so that we might be able to sustain ourselves. In this time in which we begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel, we still know that we need to hold on, but Shabbat can teach us, help us to learn how we can take care of ourselves during this time. At the end of the book of Exodus, which we read this week, we read these words, Uchvod Adonai maleh et Mishkan, that as soon as the Israelites finished building the Mishkan, the tabernacle, God's glory filled that space. Oh God, we pray for your glory to fill our hearts and our lives, for you to be with us and to sustain us as we continue on this journey of life, distinguishing Shabbat from the days of the week, finding time for our holy work in this world, and finding time for rejuvenating rest and time with our loved ones and for ourselves. May it be so, and may we be strengthened. Amen.